Summer is the high point for shops and hotels on Cape Cod, but for businesses that rely on foreign workers who need special visas, known as H-2B visas, it has not been an easy season. Tina Martin visited one place that's missing a big part of its summer routine.
At Coonamessett Farm in Falmouth, customers pick their own fruit and vegetables, visit the animals, and shop in the farm store. But for the first time in 20 years, they can't eat the fresh food at the seasonal cafe that's open from May until October.
We came to pick and to have lunch, and then we discovered it was closed, and we're so sad.
The cafe is closed because the people who run it are not here this season. Ron Smolowitz has had the same workers come from Jamaica for decades.
We get them through an H-2B program, and that program used to have an exemption for returning workers, and our workers had been returning for years. In September last year, that exemption was not renewed by Congress.
The Department of Homeland Security cut the number of visas in half over what they said were concerns about the visa program's impact on American workers.
The Department of Homeland Security could issue additional visas. They chose not to until about maybe a week or two ago.
A week or two ago was too late for the workers, and Smolowitz had already spent thousands in advertising to hire local people. These jobs pay about $12 an hour, and workers go out into the field, pick the food, prepare it, and cook it, something Smolowitz says it's hard to get Americans to do.
I found somebody to act as a cook and paid them really good money. They lasted 5 weeks. They said it was too much work, they needed more help.
The closed cafe has a ripple effect on everything at the farm, including his ability to hire young locals.
I had 3 high school students manning the stand. We closed that because not having the buffets, we don't have the business.
Like many other seasonal businesses on Cape Cod, Smolowitz depends on seasonal workers who come to the United States specifically for hospitality jobs. He estimates his loss this year to be about $200,000. Smolowitz is now depending on his other sources of revenue, like selling produce from his 20-acre farm. So while the cafe is closed this year, he and his regular customers hope this will be resolved in time for next summer.
It would be nice if it were open.
And Tina Martin joins me now. Hey, Tina. How's it going?
Hi there.
So my cynical assumption is that one reason that employers find H-2B workers so attractive is that they can get away with paying them not very much money at all. Am I right about that or not?
You are absolutely wrong. In the case of this gentleman, he's paying people $12 an hour. The minimum wage is $11, and he also gives some of these folks a bonus at the end of the season. So he definitely is doing everything within his economic capability to keep people coming back.
Treat him right. Okay, so if he does compensate his employees well, why aren't there tons of high school students or kids back home from college, kids just graduated from college who aren't that directed? Like I was not at that age. Why aren't they taking these jobs?
Well, in the piece, you heard that it's not just food prep, right? It's going out into the very large field of the farm, picking the food. You have to pick food for about 600 people a night, clean it, prep it, and cook it. And that's a lot of work for a lot of people. So he's having a hard time.
So you're saying millennials are lazy?
I'm not saying that.
I'm just kidding. All right, you did mention to me when we were upstairs in the newsroom that there is a group that is willing to take these jobs, unlike those darn kids. Who's taking the jobs? Okay,
so there's a burger place in P-Town that has hired 3 80-year-olds. And they don't work long hours, but they are working part-time for him. And he said that was, those were the folks who came in when he advertised for the jobs, and he hired them.
Excellent. We should be so lucky, right, at that age to do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Tina Martin, thank you. Good to see you.
You bet.